welcome to another episode of the Diaries of Everything Ching. I hope you have your beverage, whether it's hot or cold or warm. I don't discriminate. This episode is going to be kind of interesting because I'm going to be honest with you guys. I have completely fallen off my shadow work. Life was just lifing, and I just was not able to get it together. And so life done bought so much property in my head that I just did not have space for anything else. But luckily, I was able to evict some of those things. So now I have space for shadow work. And I thought to myself, you know what would be kind of cool? Let me do the shadow work live on the pod. Because why the hell not, right? And you guys, when I tell you I opened up my shadow work book, and this is a two-part question, and this two-part question read me my rights. I was just like, oh, okay, that's what we're getting into today. So I wanted to just really be vulnerable with you guys and just kind of give you a taste of what shadow work looks like and see if it's something that you'd be interested in. The book that I'm currently working from is called Shadow Work Journal for Beginners. And if you are interested, let me know and I would be happy to share the link with you. It is on Amazon. So it is definitely available should you be interested. So let me just go ahead and let you guys hear this question and how I decided to answer it. So the first part of the question is, what beliefs do I expect others to conform to? The second part of the question is, why am I scared to let them have their own beliefs? And when I read that, I was like, not reading me my rights. Like, you're definitely reading me my rights here because how did you know that? So the first one I wrote was reciprocity. And I've always struggled to say that word. So if I'm still saying it wrong, please just let me land because I feel like it's right. But yes, reciprocity. The reason why I expect others to conform to this is because I don't want to feel like I'm getting played. I want to feel like the love that I give is returned. So I don't feel like I'm wasting my time. I want to feel like the same value that someone brings to my life, that I bring the same amount of value to their life. The second one I put was communication style. Because for me, when communication isn't consistent, because I'm an over communicator, right? I want to make sure that you understand where I stand all the time. Because for me, when the communication isn't consistent, my mind starts to wander and my mental Rolodex goes crazy. I start thinking about things that probably are not even relevant. I start filling in the blanks with some bullshit. And then it just becomes bigger than it needs to be. So for me, that's important, right? But I know that these things aren't fair because everybody doesn't show love the way I show love. But those are two things that I can say with my chest are beliefs that I expect others to conform to. Why am I scared to let them have their own beliefs? Because people be bullshitting. I don't want them to let me down. I have a very small circle. So what happens is I try my best to keep my expectations low because I understand that everybody is wired different. But I just can't help but notice really small things that differ from, beliefs that I would like them to be conformed to, because I feel like if the roles were reversed, I would be nailed to a cross for real, for real. So it's not okay for me, then it's not okay for you. And that's not fair. I'll be honest, because not everybody can, bring that to the table at every time, because people go through things, everyone deals with things differently, and I understand that. And I honestly can't even tell you where this came from. I wish I can, but I'll say this. I've always seen shows, and I've even seen people in life, and they have friends that, regardless of what life change they have, it's like they don't skip a beat. They make time for their friends. And I guess maybe I don't have enough going on right now, but I feel like something as simple as, hey girl, checking in, making sure you're good, is a small token of, I see you, girl, but right now it just ain't what it needs to be, and I can't really sit down and kick it like that. So those would be the top two that I expect others to conform to, because for me, it's the minimum. And I feel like if you can't even do that, then what are we doing? I feel like the reciprocity is probably the bigger thing, because for me, I feel like if I feel like I don't hold value to your life, I'm going to start to pull back. And then you're going to feel like, okay, she's not even talking to me, she's not following up, she's a bad friend or what have you. But it's like, I feel like I can only do so much before it starts to look like I'm begging for you to talk to me. And one thing about me, it's not that serious. Like, I can love you from afar, and I can wish you well, and I can keep it moving. But if I really value your connection, then it becomes an issue for me. So those are the two, and that's why I'm afraid to let them have their own beliefs, because their communication might be ass, and the way they show love might not align with mine. And I'm just like, nah, I'm not fucking with it. And then it becomes, now I have to make a difficult choice of, does this person even still fit in my life now? And with some of those situations, it gets difficult, because if a person treats you like shit, it's easy for you to be like, all right, fuck them, because they're not conducive anyways. But if the person is decent to you, and it's really just a matter of, there's no reciprocity there, or they, give love in a way that is maybe foreign to you, or they communicate in a way that doesn't even align, then it becomes, am I okay with letting this person go for these reasons? And I don't know if those are decisions that I'm ready to make yet. So I think that that's what it comes down to for me when it comes to why I'm afraid to let them have their own beliefs. And I need to start working on being okay with understanding everybody's communication style isn't going to be like mine. And I think I have to work on understanding their communication styles, because I don't ever really take a moment to understand their communication style. I just kind of let them do them. And then when they come through, if I have the time, cool. If I don't, too bad. And that's doing a disservice as well. So I have to, do my own research and my due diligence to ensure that I'm understanding the different communication styles, so I can recognize the difference between somebody who communicates different and somebody who just doesn't want to communicate at all. Because I'm not going to sit here and make excuses and say, maybe they just communicate different if they're really just not trying to communicate. So I do have to definitely do my due diligence to understand the difference between somebody who just communicates different from me and somebody who just is not interested in communicating at all. And in terms of reciprocity, I think more conversations need to be have around that as well. And this is where love languages come in, because love languages isn't only for your romantic partner, it's for every relationship that you have. So once you understand how a person gives love, because a lot of people are really focused on how they receive it, but once you understand how someone gives love, then that might help me understand that they're doing the best that they can. Okay, so that's that. And so at the bottom, it says, appreciate three things about yourself and your life. So the three things that I'm going to say that I appreciate about myself and my life is the fact that I'm even here still. Um, the people that I have around me, my pod, and my resilience and my drive to continue to move forward despite, obstacles and things of that sort. And then the bottom asks if I have any triggers, who and why. And I am glad to say I have no triggers, y'all. I am in a good mood. I got me a nice massage. I am drinking me a wine and I'm feeling good. And I hope that with this lesson, if you have any beliefs that you expect people to conform to, maybe think about those beliefs, right? And why are you afraid to let them have their own? I think this is where we really have to sit down with ourselves and think about the different ways that we communicate and love each other. So at least that way we can determine the difference. And I think that's the biggest message here is being able to determine the difference of somebody who genuinely is trying to be in your life and is trying but does things differently and somebody who can care less whether you're here or not. So I want to leave you with a quote and then I'm going to close it off. This is from Ralph Waldo Emerson. Most of the shadows of this life are caused by standing in one own's sunshine. And with that, cheers to a new episode. I will see you guys next time. Take care.